just a deep sense of just have a deep sense of gratitude uh, for what so many people have done to make India Giving Day what it is this year and in the prior years. I mean, just enormous amounts of creativity, leap of faith. Um, I think about that first year when Viva, kind of brought this artist to us that created a song for India Giving Day. I'd like in a matter of days or weeks, and I was like, I had no idea that was coming, and so many things this year kind of like that in different ways. So I've really, but the origins of India Giving Day are after we created IPA, we just realized that all of the organizations involved in IPA didn't have nearly the amount of resources they could put to work effectively to create positive change. So rather than trying to see a fixed pie that we all just were trying to get a slightly bigger slice at the expense of other good groups to try to create a bigger pie, um, and we've just grown this movement in exciting ways every year, and I think it's going to grow this year. Now we must acknowledge we're in a weird moment, especially in the United States, but in other countries as well. And India has its own weirdness around the whole nonprofit and philanthropic sector. But I think we can weather that. But we need to acknowledge it. I mean, it is, some of my wife had worked for USAID for almost 30 years. She lost her job a couple of weeks ago. We'll be fine, but some of her younger colleagues, and the work that she was doing is just kind of, this is affecting all of us in different ways. Fortunately, a lot of the groups involved in India Giving Day are not dependent upon U.S. government support. So groups that's including some that I know are just are suffering. But you have to play the cards you're dealt, and we were this is. But when I look at where we are right now, I was just addressing a conference in Abu Dhabi. I don't know if anyone else was there. Um, there were 700 people, business and philanthropy leaders at a forum for good from the Indian diaspora, and I was able to present from the main stage the India Giving Day kind of approach, and I challenged them to this idea that if every Indian American family gave $100, it would generate $125 million, basically doubling the budgets of the groups involved in India Giving Day. A lot of people came up to me after my talk and said, "Wow, that was just so tangible and so powerful. Just almost every family could do that." And so that seemed to resonate. I'm very excited about events that are coming up this year. March 2nd, we have the cooking class that is going to be exciting. March 6th, we have the webinar with the head of the MacArthur Foundation and Ingrid Srinath. On March 9th, we have, I think, 3 events: the Connecting Over a Cause or online event, the town hall kickoff, and I think there's one other thing on the 9th. And so there's lots going on there. And then on March 12th, one of the organizations involved in India Giving Day is going to be announcing the largest grant in their history, certainly largest grant in the U.S. And if any of your organizations have people in New York City that would like to be represented at that event, it's not going to be publicly advertised because of space limitations. But if you would like to have a New York-based resident, ally, friend, board member, whatever of your organization, we have a few slots left for that. But that's going to be really exciting to see that announcement on the 12th. And then the 14th, it'll all culminate in just lots of fun, lots of things that probably we all can't predict right now. And I just see a lot of energy coming out of the India Giving Day community. The staff, Nirmala, Peg, Meenakshi, Dana, working on this are just doing incredible work, and our steering committee. And again, I just have a great sense of gratitude because my whole career has been about trying to connect resources to people that are just doing good things so they can do more of it, supporting ideas that can lead to positive change, that can kind of lead humanity to its best version of itself. And India Giving Day, when I'm sitting in 80 years old and talking with my nephews and whatever the next, I'll say, I did 3 or 4 really important things in my life, and India Giving Day was one of them. And to be in the middle of it with you, to be sitting here today, just again, lots of lots of optimism and gratitude.
Thanks, Alex. That was wonderful. And I have to say that, if I was to look back, India Giving Day would be one of the best things that I feel I've done in my life as well. So, so much gratitude for being here with all of you. Um, Peg, would you like to start off with some updates on the social media prices? I know that's the deadline is coming up, and everyone would like to know about that.
Okay. Hi, everybody. It is, as Alex was expressing his gratitude and appreciation, and I was feeling that in the community here, it's really very touching and very moving. So thank you. It's a privilege to be a part of this. Let's see. So March 1st kicks off early giving. As you know, we have $10,000 in matching gifts specifically for peer-to-peer fundraising. That starts March 1st. Most of the matching gift from RISC, 25,000, is on India Giving Day, but this starts this Saturday, which is coming right up. So good to have your peer-to-peer fundraisers up, running, ready to roll, and ready to double their impact. It's a wonderful way to promote. We also have golden tickets starting on March 1st. Golden tickets, if you're not familiar, are random drawings. It's a bit like a lottery where 4 times a day, somebody who is given in the last hour or 2 or 3, since it's 4 times a day, um, will be drawn, and whatever gift they made, say they gave $25, 50, $100 to a tree, they will get an additional $250 added to their gift. So it's another way to have a big impact by participating in early giving. Let me see. Peer-to-peer match, golden tickets. Oh, March 1 deadline is very important. The reason we did March, last year it was March 14th, but that way the prizes were not added to your fundraising total for India Giving Day. So we have done a March 1st deadline, both so that we can evaluate and figure out who is winning, and our ad agency can use your ads on the India Giving Day and IPA social media channels. They can brand them. But anyhow, so March 1st is the deadline. We have 4 categories. One is best countdown posts. We had that last year for those of you who were around last year, but it's a way to say just 3 days till India Giving Day, just 2 days, just 1 day. Best 30-second reels, that can be one of the youth in your youth programs saying, I'm so excited for India Giving Day, please join me. March 14th, it can be youth, it can be somebody else. And then best impact post. This is what we're doing with your money. This is what we're going to do with your money. This is a glimpse of our work on the ground. And I know I'm talking quite a bit, so I'm going to wrap it up, except for to tell you about 2 upcoming campaigns. Alex already pointed to one of them. If every Indian American family gave $100, feel free to weave that into your promotion of India Giving Day. It's already out in a press article in New India Abroad. And then also we will be distributing graphics that you can use and distribute to your supporters for WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a very popular program, as we know, in the Indian American community. And these will be graphics about India Giving Day. And they can go along with, I gave, why don't you join me? So the ad agency has created a few different options. They're going to be writing some instructions, and that will be going out to you shortly. I told Meenakshi I didn't have much to say, and there I went rambling again.
It's really
Thank you for the time.
Peg. I know Neha has a question, so do you want to go ahead?
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
sorry. I definitely was not here last year. So again, very excited for obviously the inaugural Indian Giving Day as far as I'm concerned. But I was wondering, Peg, if there were any examples of the last year's countdown posts that did win, or
Yes,
any winners on the social media categories that you'd be comfortable just sharing. It would give some of us a baseline who weren't here before on
weren't
what
here.
has been interesting, what might not has been, or what's okay, or what's too far kind of thing. So it would just be great to have a baseline if possible.
Okay, very good. I will collect some of them and pop them in the chat.
I really
Peg,
appreciate
Peg.
Yeah,
I think last year some of the social media ones weren't really a competition. It was like if you posted, a
right.
certain number of times leading up, you got X money. So like I think you've shifted this year and it's more of a competition on those social media posts. So I don't know if you'd have like, oh, here were the winners. Because I think it
Um,
was if as long as you did, a certain number of days.
there was two different directions. We did have winners for best countdown posts. And
Okay.
yeah, and that's what I'm going to look for is some samples of those. Okay.
Do we have
All
any
right.
questions for Peg? All right, then I can provide a brief update with what's happening on events, and I also have a couple of updates on offline gifts and pledges. So I'm really, really excited to let you all know that we have a lot of applications for community online as well as regional events, and there will be upwards of 60 plus events happening throughout the nation in celebration of India Giving Day. The majority of these are happening between March 1st to March 14th, but there are also a few events in February and in later part of March. We will be posting all of information about the public events on our website, and Dana can put in a link there. We also have a couple of updates about offline gifts and pledges, and I'm going to just share my screen with you. And this comes from some of the queries that all of you had and regarding the time period. And so we have made a little bit of a shift in that. So gifts of pledges that are received in February and March that are intended towards India Giving Day will be eligible to be entered as offline gifts. And also, some of you had asked whether gifts received during any of the events held in celebration of IGD are eligible to be entered. And yes, that is the case. Any gifts that you receive during an event held for IGD is also eligible to be entered as an offline gift. However, I just want to let you know that the portal to the entry point for entering offline gifts opens on March 1st. So if you have your list of offline gifts ready at that point, you can start entering them on March 1st in the portal.
And just, I mean, actually, it's to go back a second. You mean offline gifts or pledges received in February or March
That's
that were
right.
intended. So online gifts that received in February, March that go through your website are not eligible because the online gifts must go through our portal. But if one of your donors sent a check on February 12th to you intended for India Giving Day, we want to make, we would welcome those. You just include them in your offline gifts. We want to make this as unbureaucratic and as inclusive and flexible as possible. So yeah, but we really want to maintain that the online gifts are focused on through the portal during 1 through 14. If you all come up with just if something happens in your organization that just like it's in some gray area or not covered by this, just come talk to us, because we want to have a situation where we don't want to, if a donor gave to you on January 29th for India Giving Day, rather than tell them they're out of luck, just come talk to us. We'll see if we can, if we can make it work. because we just want to make this the most kind of inclusive and easy thing for you all to have a successful campaign.
Thanks, Alex. Moving on, I just also want to go through some of the important dates. And so the offline gifts giving period window, as we just discussed, is anytime in Feb and March. And, late Jan, as Alex mentioned, if you've received a gift with the intention for IGD, just come to us, let us know, and we can talk about that. The prices that Peg has mentioned, all prices will be determined based upon funds raised by March 15th, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. The leaderboard on the website will, with the number of funds raised and number of donors, freezes at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on March 15th. So even though we are considering offline gifts as gifts given anytime during March, but you won't be able to add those onto the donation portal because the portal itself closes on March 17th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I just want to take a moment to explain how this works to you. So the leaderboard, as you see over here, freezes on March 15th and at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And when the leaderboard freezes, organizations will no longer be seen on the India Giving Day website on the home page. However, we do understand there might be some donors, who were intending to give on March 14th and were, forgot about it or had a situation. So for that reason, we keep the portal actually open for another day. And what your donor can do in that case is they can go to the search bar at the top of the menu, type in your organization's name, and your organization's donation page will come up. So this is really to extend the time for donors who were intending to give, but for some reason were unable to on the IGD website. Finally, I want to talk about live support from GiveGap. So as we've discussed earlier, the best way to get a response to any of your questions is from the blue chat bubble, which you see on the right-hand side, lower right-hand side of your screen when you go to your admin page. And that support on India Giving Day, which is on March 14th, is available from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Outside of these times, there is support, but I think the team gets back to you and it's more of AI support. But the live support is available between the window of 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time on India Giving Day, March 14th. On the weekdays, that is from March 1st onwards, live support is available from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time via the tech bubble, via the blue chat bubble. I also want to mention that, if any of you come across a situation, a question which you think is not being correctly responded to by the chat bubble, feel free to reach out to me or Dana. But usually the fastest way of getting a response to your query is the blue chat bubble. So use that first and then email me or Dana as well. So that's on the timeline. And, at this point, we would love to hear from you all, any exciting events that you've got planned or any other updates on your campaign.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for putting it together and, working days and nights for this India Giving Day. So I come from Drishti Foundation. We are doing multiple events. We have also, have some P2P fundraisers. Another thing we are doing is we are putting an ad on a local radio station here. So that ad will be talking about IPA, India Giving Day, and also, we'll start the buzz from March 1st itself, that March 14th is the day. So that's something different we are doing and wanted to share.
What radio station and what market?
That's the Bay Area. Actually, they have 5 more locations. This is Radio Zindagi.
Were you able to get any preferred rates from them by any chance for this event, or are they kind of co-contributing? Because I have approached them in the past in the New Jersey, New York market, and so just curious. But I can reach out offline as well if that's easier.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you can reach me offline. I'll put my number in the chat. So they gave me non-profit rate. Yeah, here is my number.
Great. Thank you, Niharika. I'd be curious to see what your experience was.
Sure.
That's great to hear, Niharika. Who else would like to share their experience and what you're doing for the campaign?
Yeah, hi Meenakshi. Hey, hi everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be a part of India Giving Day again this year. This is our third year and we're super excited. So we recently concluded one event that we had planned in Raleigh. It was received very, very well. We went with the same format as Dallas had done last year when we invited other nonprofits to be a part of this event that we call Change Makers Connect. And we invited about 5 nonprofits here in and around the area that were working both on India causes, and one was a local partner working with the public schools here in the US. And it was very well received. One, they loved the fact that we are increasing the pie and not have the scarcity mindset. Two, that they had an opportunity to share their work. And three, all the discussions about collaborations was very, very was right at the center of the conversation, right? So collaboration was that key concept that everybody kind of understood how India Giving Day was collaborating, how Viba is collaborating, and how we can all come together and do joint events like this. So that was very well received. We also the video that India Giving Day provided, Meenakshi, thank you for the video. That was very powerful. They could see how many nonprofits have come together to do this. And so there might be a few people interested next year to actually apply for India Giving Day as well. And the third is we had some elected officials, council members come in and also hear about India Giving Day, and they were very impressed as well. So there was overall a lot of energy and excitement that we created, but also this concept of collaboration. And we have 2 more of these events planned, one in Boston at the end of March and mid-March in Atlanta. So wondering if there are any other organizations who would want to come and participate. I'll send details. Other than all of this, we have also planned about 8 youth-based activities, local volunteering events to celebrate India Giving Day. And there's one on March 14th at 10:30 a.m. We're planning to release the documentary that we created, The Audacity to Dream, out on YouTube in celebration of India Giving Day. So these are the events that we are doing. Sorry, I had to be off camera. It's okay. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Ashwini. That was a great update, and we were really excited to see that the celebrations with events has already started off with the event you had in Raleigh. I just want to mention that there's a WhatsApp group for organizations that are interested in doing regional events, and we'll post the link in chat here in case anyone wants to join that. That's really for all the organizations participating to interact with each other, the WhatsApp group. I know that Mark wanted to say something. So Mark, would you like to go next?
Thank you. You saw my actual hand. I was going to do the virtual hand raise, but yes, I definitely have a couple quick things. But I just wanted to come back to the deadline for donations. I remember the visual you had. Can you tell me when on the India Giving Day platform itself, what's the cutoff for when donations can be made in the platform?
So on the platform is open till March 17th, 1 p.m. Eastern time. But your organization won't be visible on the India Giving Day homepage. So any donor who is coming to the platform after March 15th, 1 p.m. Eastern time, won't
Okay.
see your organization on the homepage. So what they will need to do is go to the search of the website, type in your organization's name there, and then your donation page comes up.
Okay.
And this is just to make sure that we are not leaving any donations on the table. So even though the leaderboard freezes, the organizations are no longer visible on the homepage, we have this facility so that you are able to get all the donations in, all the people in that who had promised to donate to your organization on India Giving Day.
Beautiful. Okay. Thanks, Meenakshi. I just wanted to take a moment to come back to what Alex and Peg said at the beginning and express the gratitude that I have and that our team has at GMT International. We're a really small Boston-based nonprofit, and most of our work is done in Arunachal Pradesh, India. And I had the really good fortune of meeting Alex at the Dasra IPA event at the Cambridge Marriott at the end of last year in Boston. And man, the fact that it's blossomed into this opportunity and we can be a part of this community, I'm feeling really blessed. And we, even though we're small, we have a talented core team and who does a lot of like the social media newsletters and this kind of marketing. And I must say that myself and my team were so impressed as to what you've created, how much fun you make it with the peer-to-peer and the reels and getting youth involved. We're going to do the best we can with this. I think what I wanted to share in terms of how the ripples of India Giving Day have already possibly impacted us in a really interesting way is Anamika, the founder of OBLF, who also happens to be based in Boston, reached out a few weeks ago asking if we'd want to partner. So we're scheduling a virtual event. Will probably take place the week of India Giving Day, early in the week, and we'll open it up to our global communities. We had talked about doing a live in-person event before the 14th, but realizing with such a short window of time, given the kind of event we wanted to pull together, we're going to collaborate on a live event later in the year, later in the spring. So the fact that we're now connected to Anamika and her team, we'll be doing some joint posting. We'll be doing a joint virtual event. And, to have a friend and a fellow NGO leader right here in Boston, I wouldn't have met Anamika if it wasn't for India Giving Day. And we'll see what we can co-create moving forward. But again, it just gets back to the gratitude we all feel for being part of India Giving Day. And thanks to Alex and Peg, you and your team, and Meenakshi, all you've done to make it so easy to be a part of this. Again, we're pretty small. We're going to do the best we can and have some fun with it, but just feeling really grateful. So thank you.
Thank you, Mark. And I know Swati had raised her hand too. Swati, would you like to go next?
Sure, happy to do so. So it's great to see everybody and several of the organizations that are here today. Some aren't, but Ashoka will be partnering with them for events. So for example, right now we're doing a few virtual events. I think Aroya World, I don't think Nalini is here today, but she's planning a few. Aroya is actually turning 15 this month. So as part of India Giving Day, they'll be doing a celebration. And Royga is actually an Ashoka Fellow organization. So it's very exciting and special for us to be able to partner with them. We'll be doing events with VIBA, VFF. We're in touch with Pratham, but we're very much the more the merrier. So if anybody would like to do either a virtual or in-person event with us, please let us know. I will be participating in the Atlanta event. Hopefully we'll be able to send somebody to New York, Alex. So I'll be in touch with you. I'll shoot you an email on that. And then we've got 3 events in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. That's where Ashoka Global office is based. One that's particularly exciting, especially to me, because it's youth-led, is something that VFF is putting together with Kids with Code. So that's a local youth-based group who is volunteering their time, their efforts, their energy. And so that will be taking place in Maryland on the 9th. We will be having an event with hopefully Ashoka leadership, fingers crossed, Bill Drayton, talking about, the founding of a, we'll see. We've put the ask out to him. It's blocked on his calendar. It's just a matter of, confirming that. Even if it's not Bill, it'll be others from Ashoka leadership talking about, the importance of India as a change maker country and the impact that the diaspora has, as well as our Everyone a Change Maker mission. So again, that's with VIBA and VFF. And then we're having a kind of an India Giving kickoff event on March 14th with, again, VIBA and VFF with, Pratham and Aroya invited. So that one will take place in kind of the Dulles area. So Maryland, DC, Virginia, for those three. If there's any events that you're interested in, either inviting your network, coming, joining us, representing your organization, just shoot me an email. I'll put my contact information in the chat.
Thanks, Swati. And I've also put in the WhatsApp link. So a lot of the WhatsApp group was set up by Swati, I think, and anyone is free to join in and collaborate on regional events. It's great to see so many organizations coming together on some of these events. And I know, Dr. Tripathi, you've got your hand raised. So would you like to go next?
Yeah, sure, definitely. So just to share with everybody that we are doing an event in tri-state Washington, D.C. area, a regional event that actually started with a tiny thing when I was in India for 30 days, but has become bigger. So it's actually has attracted 350 people already. So we anticipate getting closer to 400. Now here is the challenge. We have auditorium for 800 people. So it's going to be half filled, but we can do only so much. This was all put together in 3 weeks. And I have a friend in Washington, D.C. He formed a group there. That group is actually doing the trek. So really very thankful to the program committee there. That's on 8th of March. On 9th of March, we are doing a small gathering. We started here also in Chicago with a really small, with 20 people. But then somehow our friends passed us over to this organization that I know the least about, America India Foundation. So they are in the loop now. So from 20 people, event, it has become an 80 people event. So they're going to be, my friends from Rotary Club I'm a Rotarian. So Rotary Club in my area, Highland Park in Chicago suburb, will be joining there. So looking forward to it. But somebody just mentioned about Maryland, and we would love to connect and do something with another partner in Maryland, because there's just so much happening in Maryland and DC area right now for us. All surprise. I mean, just about a month and a half ago, there was zero. And from zero to get to 350 is not bad, actually. So thank you to all of you for your input, your directions, your guidance, particularly Alex and Meenakshi and others, and Peg. And I think all of these interactions gave her a way to think big. And I think this really has been a great thing for us. We were not expecting it.
Thank you. And the DC event sounds really nice, especially your contact there who helped you put up such a big event in such a short time frame. So congratulations. We hope you are able to fill up that auditorium as much as possible.
Yeah.
And moving on, is anyone else would like to share updates on their campaign?
Again, this is Niharika again from Drishti. So, I got this Dana's email about talking about IPA, which we'll do in our events. I was also thinking if we can get something that we can get printed about IPA, about India Giving Day. So that will also be standing next to other banners in the event. So that is also something, if you can provide a design, we'll get it printed and we'll make sure that they are put there in all our events.
Yeah, Niharika, and thanks. That was also a question in your email, so thanks for bringing it up again. And we shared a link for event, handouts that you could have. And as for banner, there is a banner design peg, if I'm not mistaken, in the nonprofit toolkit, right? Or do you think that would be suffice, or do we need to provide something else?
Is that
you're on mute,
Peg?
Peg.
Oh, is that so, Peg?
I
Niharika,
can
you
send you the banner that is at the top of the India Giving Day website. It's horizontal, it's not vertical. I'm not sure what you were looking for, but I can definitely send you that. But it is not in the two, it's not downloadable. But there are a lot of graphics that are, so.
I think, but are you talking about like one of those banners that is like very like tall that you kind of that you like get printed it somewhere and you can carry it on and then you just unscroll it and it's
Yeah, a standing banner. A
standing. Is there some way we could kind of on the fly develop material so that people could make their own standing banners using our materials? Using our logo and all, that would be kind of, it could be generic or they could add to it.
Yeah. If that was possible, that would be great. Because I'm thinking if we can customize it, we can each add, our QR codes and things like that as well.
Yeah, and that would actually, I saw Vibha had one vertical banner as well. So, that would be a good asset to have.
I mean, I don't know how complicated it is. It might be something for next year, but if we could pull that off and let people have that, it sounds like that would meet a need.
So if I have something, I can design one banner for you. I would just need some graphics and other assets. If there are some Canva files, I'll go and get something.
Yeah,
designed.
Niharika, there are some, and Dana has just posted a link, but we'll also send it to you by email. There are Canva templates that you can, use, and as well as the graphics which are downloadable. So after the call, I'll send you that link by email.
Sounds good.
But for
Well,
others,
also, I'll send Meenakshi the India Giving Day banner, which could be at the top, and then you can have copy underneath it.
right.
Anyhow.
And for others, sometimes that link to the graphics that we have on our website gets sort of, you miss seeing it. Dana has just posted it in the chat, so you can copy and save it. It's going to be really useful in the coming days. Yeah, Deb.
Thank you.
Hi. First of all, it's so exciting, all of this stuff going on. This is our second year, and we have a matching grant, which is great. Last year we didn't, so that's like a big difference. But mostly I just have a question for everybody, and I'm going to ask you to contact me or give me your info. But our group is based in Himachal. I don't know if anyone else is doing work there. And also I am located in Southern California. So I would love to connect. Everything seems so East Coast, but I would love to connect with anyone who's between LA and San Diego. We're an animal rescue, but we also do lots of education, because part of the issues with street dogs in India is the relationship between the dogs and the humans, and how the humans historically feel of the dogs. So we do education in schools and education in rural villages. So anyway, I would love to connect with anybody, whether you're in Southern California or not, but mostly it'd be fun just to do something in this area. Or if you're also in Himachal, I'd love to hear what you're doing. So thank you. And I'll put my contact in the chat.
Thanks, Deb. And we're also open to any questions anyone might have. Yeah, Preeti.
Hi. So I had a quick question around US donors versus non-US donors. Meenakshi, I know you and I sort of had an offline chat around this. So I just wanted to sort of address the group and get some suggestions and advice, guidance around how are we soliciting sort of donations from our non-US donor base, given the complication around tax deduction not being applicable because they're going to be donating straight. They need to donate to the 501c3 entity as opposed to the Indian entity. So the way we've sort of gone about talking about IGD and organization and sort of participating in this campaign, we've sort of targeted it very specifically to US donors. But I've noticed, as I've seen sort of campaigns or posts from other organizations talking about it very globally, right? Asking everybody to sort of contribute. So how are you guys sort of thinking about or getting around the donation receipt and the tax deduction aspect of it?
So anyone who's done this in previous years or is thinking about it this year, please feel free to jump in.
So Preeti, we don't, it's not in the context of India Giving Day, but we do have some international donors that essentially donate, especially out of Europe. And I think it depends, but I think the organization can have an equivalence. So depending on, it depends on how the organization structured. If it's a private donor, for instance, then they may or may not be eligible. But otherwise, like Teach for India, for example, even as an Indian organization, has gotten a 501(c)(3) equivalence certificate and I can send you the details if that's of help to you on how potentially the India-based organization can get that. So for especially foundations and organizations, those donations can still be 501(c)(3) qualified. I'll double check if it's the same for individuals, but I believe individuals usually don't go through the effort of filing that paperwork required to sort of justify the 501(c)(3) equivalence. But I can send you the details that I have if that's helpful.
I mean, the bottom line is, first of all, we hope you all raise a ton of money from every country to support your work in India, including India, every month of the year.
Yeah.
In terms of what counts, we're looking at, online gifts through our portal and offline gifts in February and March to your U.S. legal entity. That's what we're now. If you have a special case, something that doesn't quite fit into all that, just contact us, and or you just say, listen, if someone in India gives you $1 million or someone from Germany gives you $1 million, just celebrate that you have that $1 million. It won't necessarily count for what we're doing, but we can't anticipate every eventuality. So if you have a special case, come talk with us and we'll see how we can come up with a logical solution or treatment.
Mark, you want to go ahead?
Thank you.
Preeti,
Yeah.
I think you were saying something.
Sorry.
Did you want me to go?
Yeah, Preeti, were you saying something? Do you want to
No,
finish
I think Preeti's
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
done.
Yeah, Mark.
Alex, I had a quick question about the event on the 12th. Really appreciated getting that email. Congratulations on that grant. That sounds really exciting. We definitely have some friends in the New York City area that I was going to reach out to. I was considering driving down from Boston, but I might reach out to some friends first. What's the short story on what I would tell them they would be participating in, and or do they have like a moment to say anything? Like what do I tell them it's about?
Yeah, so it's an event co-hosted by Atria USA and IGD. The centerpiece of it is an announcement of a large grant, very large grant to them. A representative, at least one representative of the donor organization that's making the donation will be there. So one attraction, if I were in one of your organizations, I would want to have someone there to shake the hand of the donor who can write a check that large, frankly, if nothing else. I'm gonna be emceeing the event. It's the venue isn't. We were trying to do this at the Indian consulate in New York, and it just didn't work out on short notice. It's a whole long story, but we're in this space. It's going to be intimate. I'm going to invite people for a time after they talk about this large grant, people that are involved in India Giving Day in various ways, and they don't have to have a formal role in they could just be a volunteer of this organization or that, to just share a bit about what they're doing. And then there'll be some time before and after the formal program where people just mingle and meet. So it's just an intimate event. I think we're limited to really 35 people, and that will be tight. But if you want your organization represented there to celebrate this grant, to include your experience of India Giving Day and what you're doing, and probably you want someone there that's a little bit on the extroverted side, so they can work the room and tell them about the good work your organization is doing, and even if it's in that informal session. But we're probably limited to one person, one representative per organization, and we're going to run out of slots fairly soon. But if there's someone, if you want to drive down, more power to you. And if you have someone local there that can just drop by, it'll be in the Wall Street area. And we'll send the address once we have people's, the names all set up. But it's again, it's very exciting, but we want to make it they're an example of one group that's getting resources now closer to what their need is, but we're doing in the context of hoping that all these great organizations get much closer to the amount of resources that they need and can deploy. And it just so happens that one of them, at least one of them, and that'll be the focus this meeting, is this event. So it's a good place to have someone.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. I appreciate that. That's super helpful. Thank you.
Any more questions and or anything that you might want to share? We still have 10 minutes to go. So yes, if there's an event you want to talk about, or your campaign, or you have any other questions before we kick off on March 1st, please go ahead.
Meenakshi, thank you for posting that sample. Just for a quick question, is the hope that the submissions for the countdown posts or things like that are branded with India Giving Day branding or with our organizational branding, or it doesn't matter? Just trying to make sure we know what's the right submission to make.
Yeah, Peg, you wanna go ahead? You're on mute.
You're back on mute.
Back on.
Sorry, could you repeat that? I was making sure I skimmed the notes, so I responded before the end of the meeting and I missed what you asked.
No, no worries at all. I was just asking, the post you posted, for instance, right? It was from
Right.
a different organization, but the logo on the visual was actually the India Giving Day logo. So I was
Yes.
just asking if India Giving Day or IPA has any preference. Is it okay if it's co-branded? Does it have to be, the submission has to be IPA branding only, or something like that?
Co-branded. You know,
Okay.
we want you there, and just you're asking for a gift to your organization and you're doing it because of India Giving Day.
Fantastic. Thank you for that
Great.
clarification. I appreciate
You
it.
bet.
Thanks, Neha. So we have questions, a couple of more questions. Swati, Chris, and then Mireille also raised her hands.
Sure. And I'm sorry if I missed this somewhere, but I had a question from somebody who was potentially doing peer-to-peer with us. I'm just interested in the India Development Fund. So rather than somebody having to choose one organization, right? Wouldn't it be lovely, especially because we're doing so many collaborative events, if they could choose multiple? So with the India Development Fund, is that something that's split between, once everything's all said and done, is that split between these 35 organizations?
Yes.
Or does it go elsewhere? Okay. So for them, in terms of matching, for example, let's say I don't think we would get a match, but is RIST matching any of the India Development Fund money? Because I think we've got McKinsey Scott, but I think that's Ashoka only. But for RIST, is that matchable? Because I just want to make sure that I'm advertising correctly.
That is a great question. The $25,000 match that happens on India Giving Day is automatic. So I'm going to say yes, it would be matched if it comes in during that window.
Okay. So maybe not the 10,000, but on that March 14th.
The 10,000 too, if it is, that's peer-to-peer fundraisers. And that's going to be a manual process. The 25,000 is automated. The other, we're going to be assessing matches once daily, because there's no way to automate and be real specific about peer-to-peer only. But yes, it would be any peer-to-peer fundraiser will be matched.
Okay, that's good news. And then I have a second question, if it's okay. So in terms of public versus private events, the main DMV area events that we're looking at are kind of going to be I would say semi-public, right? Where we're very excited to have folks, but we also need to be, we need to know who's coming, just in terms of catering and location and venue size and things like that. Is there a way to, rather than saying public versus private, do like an invitation system? We were thinking about using just like Eventbrite, just so that we can get kind of a head count of folks. But is there like anything that IGD prefers us to use for that kind of head count? Because we'll, in theory, be shared on some of these sites and LinkedIn posts.
That would be up to you, Swati. What system you're using to invite your donors and supporters.
Okay. All right. And if anybody has a recommendation beyond Eventbrite, especially some of you who've done this before, please let me know.
Yeah, we used something called Green Envelope, Swati. But it's called Green Envelope. Very similar to Eventbrite actually. So, but I'll share with you the link.
Okay, great. Because yeah, I think for the events that we're having with Viva, for example, right, this could be really helpful.
And Niharika, you posted something about Sulekha. So
Yeah.
you
So
shared through
Sulekha,
Sulekha.
if you pay some extra, like a couple of $100, they will also do marketing to their base, and they're also like going to publicize your event on their website.
Oh, okay. So that's helpful. Is that something that we can use if we were granted grant money? Is that something that we could use some of that funding for if we didn't previously put it in the application?
Yeah, absolutely. And whatever funding you've received, that's up to you to use it towards event costs, whether it's venue or it's catering or it's marketing that you would like to use it for.
Excellent. Thank you.
And I saw the question, just any donations that come through our website for you, you get full information about those people. There's nothing we're going to receive that you don't get.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. And Chris, you want to go next? You're on mute.
Sorry. I just wanted to check in with Peg and make sure that we submitted the impact ad correctly. It's a video, but I didn't have a video file to upload. So I just put the link on a Word doc and then uploaded the Word doc. That's okay? Okay, great.
Oh, and Chris, you
Okay.
reminded me of something. Sorry to hijack this for a second, Meenakshi. I'm writing an article that will be published in a really great place about, basically it'll be the authors of it will be the steering committee of IGD. And one of the things that they asked me to include in the article is kind of like evidence of impact of our organizations. And my colleague Dana went to your landing pages on the IGD, and there wasn't a lot there in terms of like, especially third party, like based evidence that your program works. Now, a lot of organizations don't have the money to hire JPAL or whatever, some sort of, to do this. But if you do have evidence that what you're doing works, especially if it's from a credible third party, a research organization or something, if you could send that to me, it'll probably end up in this article. I will try to kind of scour your own websites because maybe it's buried there. But if you can kind of help me out, if you've done an internal study was well designed and credible, we would welcome that too. But this third party valid verification is probably the gold standard. And if you've done that and you have that, please let me know about it so I can fold it into this article. And RIST was particularly interested. Paul Glick was of that. Like let's not just talk about let's put some data there. So if you have that, and you have easy access to it, send it to me, and I can build it into the article.
Yeah, and I just want to add to that a little, Alex, that on your IGT profile pages, it would really be helpful for new donors who are coming and viewing your page to see what is the impact that your work has had. So if that information is not already there, then please take a moment, take time to put it there in a way that it can be easily viewed. Not too much of it, but so that new donors can see what the impact of your work has been on your IGD profile page. And I know Mireille also had a question. Mireille, you want to go next?
Oh, thanks, Meenakshi. My question was about the $100 campaign, but I think that was answered in the chat already. But I can share a small event, like our event update, if that's interesting.
Yes, please do.
Okay. Yeah, so we're planning an event. We have like 3 events planned for different audiences. And then one of them I think is really interesting is we're doing one that is more data science oriented this time also. So we're working with a couple of researchers who are going to have a live discussion basically with Arogya World on how to best measure impact, what to think about while doing that, challenges and chances about it, and opportunities for, leveraging the data that we get, be it qualitative, be it quantitative, for like assessing and impact evaluation. Yeah, and we're excited about that. And it's going to be an online event, and we will share the link with everyone.
Thank you, Mireille. That sounds really interesting. Unless we have more questions, just want to take a minute. Does anyone have any other questions? All right. There is so much of exciting news that has been shared today. We are really, really looking forward to March 1st, and looking forward to all your campaigns, and wish you all the best. In case you have any questions, as I said before, feel free to reach out to us, and for any technical questions, etc. The blue chat bubble on the lower right hand side of your screen is your best friend. So, do put all your queries there first, and look forward to everyone's campaigns rolling out on March 1st.